Hey everyone, welcome back to Rogue One 6. We are back again for another spotlight. So this time we are, well, first of all, PJ, thanks for joining us again for this. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
thank you for
Not that you just stayed on, so it's not that big of a deal. So
I
whatever.
I kept the same clothes. I was
Yeah,
thinking
you
about
did.
changing ensemble.
We all did.
So
So it was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we are talking today about the PCS Emperor Palpatine 1/3 scale Emperor Palpatine upon the throne, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Or whatever. So this one, man, they're just this looks pretty damn good. Like they just keep going with this line, and it's 1/3 is just so freaking big. I mean,
Yeah.
PJ, you do quarter scale stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have 1/3 scale stuff?
No, I don't have any 1/3 scale stuff. I mean, I did. I think I had the Joker J&D one. And yeah, I loved it, but it also didn't fit in my collection. I'm like,
Right.
okay, it was out of curiosity.
Mhm.
But I think we talked about it, Matt, when we first, started like doing these live streams together. With the Hot Toys, and then we're
Mhm.
like, oh, I wish that's a company like Prime One will get
Right.
the 1/3 scale license, and
Right.
oh my gosh, can you
Mhm.
imagine them making all these pieces?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'll be done with Hot Toys with that, right?
Yeah.
If they ever did that.
We talked about
Well,
Queen Studio specifically, something like that is
Yeah.
what we were
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
I mean, because I think we were collecting Hot Toys at the time, and
Mhm.
and the only reason why I was collecting Hot Toys at the time was because of the realism of the
Yeah.
portraits, right?
Mhm.
So, but obviously, I got a Hot Toys before PCS started making these, because I think Hot Toys has, I don't know, gone off the rails, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's a
Sorry,
fire hose. Fire
it
hose.
is a fire hose. So when PCS, when I think they first, I think, changed ownerships. I could be wrong. And they changed they changed to a different directions with a lot of their pieces that are coming out, right? They
Yep.
they
Yep.
made the Ninja Turtles line. They're coming out with all this horror line. It like they're pumping out like amazing pieces.
And Street Fighter, don't they do a ton of Street Fighter stuff?
Street
Yeah.
Fighter.
Yeah.
I mean Gladiator. I mean, I could
Right.
Transformers. I could keep going on and on.
Right.
So when they got the Star Wars license, I'm like, all right, well, cool. Like, let's see what they could do. And Brian Kuchar, the Kuchar brothers, they joined PCS,
Yeah.
and he's, I think, the creative director with a lot of these pieces. I could be wrong, but he's helping sculpt these pieces.
Mhm.
Legend in the game. And here we are, getting Emperor Palpatine on a freaking throne.
After Maul, right? The Maul's
Yeah, Maul's the
their first
first
one.
one. Yeah.
And
And
then now this one.
uh,
Are you getting the Maul, PJ?
yeah, I'm getting the hyper real one, the silicone.
Okay.
I'm not getting the other
Mhm.
one.
Okay.
Just because I think I'm mauled out. I already have
Yeah,
too
yeah.
many malls.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Um
we said that when we talked about Mall, but also
mm,
PCS in general. I was really excited when they announced that they were doing these, but we kind of knew. I swear, I think it's like to afford the license, they're gonna come out with Maul, Darth Vader, like the very
Yeah.
obvious characters that
And
sell
yeah.
well. So they obviously did the Vader bust, but I do think it was quite cool that they decided after, for as far as standalone statues and not like their fine art bust like the Vader situation, that Emperor Palpatine was going to be their next one after Maul, because I know a lot of Palpatine collectors or fans that are
Mhm.
desperate
Right.
for a deep looking statue.
Mhm.
And then price wise, so this one, for reference, it's going to be 23 inches tall, 17 inches wide. It's 1/3. It is all polystone. I've had some people comment that they wish that the robes were actually mixed media. I'm not a fan of certain mixed media.
No.
I like that it's all 100%
I do
sculpted.
too. I do too.
And I'm assuming that's a light up actually above his head and then also in the
Yeah.
base.
Yeah.
And the price, a lot of people were concerned about the price because it's 1/3, because it's Star Wars, because it's got a massive throne.
And
And
it's got these little diorama pieces
yeah,
at the bottom, just like the Maul did.
and it's got the light up. Sideshow
Mhm.
came out with the Thrawn on Throne, which is almost $1,000. So a lot of
Yep.
people were like, "Yikes, this is going to be up there for 1/3.
Yep.
1530 if you order right now, or soon. They have like
Yeah.
an
Right
early
now,
bird
Right now.
As we're
Order.
speaking,
Yeah.
for the
after
low
this
low
show,
price.
it's going to be
The-
2,500.
Link in the description.
At a
if you
low,
order-
low price of 15.
1529.99
Link in the
Order
description
now.
below.
plus shipping and handling.
Oh, by
You
the way,
just-
if you look for a link in the description, it's not going to be there. Just so you know.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Don't look down there.
we're not affiliate.
No.
But so I don't, because people have asked this as well. I have no idea what this early bird window is, if they're
Right.
going to allow it for a few weeks, or a few days. But there is a slight discount if you order soon, as opposed to when it's close to being sold out, I guess. Edition size, it's 250, so not a lot on this one.
Wow.
Not a lot.
Okay. Low edition as well. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a really good. This is a really good number, price, everything.
I mean, for what it is, 1/3 and this giant ass cherries on. I mean,
Mhm.
that's it's not
Are
bad.
his, is his clothing sculpted or is that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Sculpted.
All sculpted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what
I
Cece
like
was saying. Some people are kind of like, I wish it was mixed media, but I like
Yeah,
this.
but then you got to sit there and play with it and fluff it, like
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with Jason. One thing with mixed media, and like, I just got the Mace Windu, and then obviously if you go on Sideshow's YouTube page, they got like a separate video on how to style it, or a
How to be
separate
a
section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
for me, this is, guys, this is a must-have. Like,
It's crazy.
it's just it's everything you want from a Star Wars piece in terms of
Does he have
statues,
Luke's
right?
hilt?
What's up?
He
What's that?
does. He's got Luke's hilt on the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
he sh-
In his
I like
hand.
that.
Some people were commenting that they were hoping, and it's a switch out. They were hoping that his face was going to be a little more expressive, but
Sure.
spoiler alert,
Brother.
they have teased that they're doing a museum, kind of like Maul, where they had the more dynamic Maul that was 100% polystone, and then they had the hyper-real Maul that was a little
See-
more like
Oh, so they are
museum.
gonna do
Yeah, they're doing silicone, version of him.
Yeah.
The weird part about the mall one was that if I didn't feel like it changed very much, it looked like the same exact statue, just
that.
hyper
Cool, better
real.
call.
hyper real. Yeah,
and they added a
I
couple
thought they were
things. to it.
different.
This one, he's not going to
It's
be on the
weird,
throne,
though.
right?
Yeah,
No,
the
I
pose
think
is
it's gonna-
different.
He's gonna be standing or something.
yeah.
He's going to be.
It's so funny looking at the statue. Everybody always does the Emperor, like, do it, right? All I can think of is like, the shield will be quite operational. Like, it keeps going through my head as I'm watching
Look at
this.
his head. It's freaking disgusting, dude.
So this is a must-have for me. And
Sure.
the one thing I know, one third, yeah, a lot of people are like, "Well, that's so big, and how's that going to fit your collection?" Well, you just make it fit, right?
That's true. Plus, he's
Shove it in
you're
there.
right. You make it fit. Plus, he's seated. He's in his chair. It's a little bit more form factor than something that's like a dynamic pose. Like Maul
Jason,
is
it
a little
also
bit
it also helps that he's getting the mall. Like if he was just getting this and putting it next to a quarter scale.
yeah,
like,
but Maul's
Yeah.
gonna look. Maul's technically gonna look bigger than this.
yeah, I would because he's
He's
standing.
hunched.
Sure.
He's seated. He's a smaller
Yeah.
character in general.
It'll
Yeah.
look great though. They'll look great together though.
The
Oh, of
beauty about all these pieces that they're releasing is they're all dark side. They're
Yeah,
all
they
going
are.
to complement
Super.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one thing about 1/3 is that, yeah, it's a bigger piece, but it has a bigger presence.
Sure.
I don't know about you guys, but if I've had family members or friends come over, they always gravitate towards the bigger pieces.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not gonna just buy this piece and show up, but just saying in terms of presence,
Yeah.
this has presence. The portrait looks amazing. The seat looks beautiful. And it's
does
Emperor
look amazing.
Palpatine on a throne. Like, what more can you want?
Do you know, PJ? Do you know if is Thor staying away from 1/3 or
I'm assuming he is. I mean, this is hard
This
to
is, like,
resist.
perfectly
Yeah, I
down
don't
his
think
lane? It's
I don't
just
think he owns any 1/3, but also,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm scraping the bottom of my brain right now. There's a custom person who's making an Emperor on throne
currently
in 1/4.
okay. Maybe that's
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I think the details and everything on that one are going to be fantastic. So, but again, if you're a 1/3 person, which we've heard
Yeah.
for years, it from years from friends who are more 1/3 collectors than they are 1/4, this is absolutely the piece for you. I understand the presence thing. I have a 1/3 statue, and then the rest of mine are quarter scale. And I could see this looking like a super classy piece, especially with other ones in the line.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to Regal Robot us into like gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
You just talked about being selective, but yeah, I know some people who are interested in maybe getting this and the hyper real more museum pose that they're gonna have. But I think as much as I love the throne poses, I get told all the time it doesn't make sense for every character. This absolutely makes sense for this character.
Yeah. And the thing too is that, like, sometimes, especially in this day and age with collecting, where there's so many things out there, there's so many iterations of Emperor Palpatine, whether it be Hot Toys, whether it be Sideshow, whether it be, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Iron Studios, don't forget about Iron Studios, don't forget about Blitzway. So there's so many. So, and sometimes it's overwhelming sometimes, right? You're like, well, I really like this piece, but I just want one like piece that would just, like, I don't like, I could set it and forget it. I could put it in my shelf, and that is the best Emperor Palpatine piece ever.
Yeah, sure.
I think you could say that with this piece. It's Emperor Palpatine on the throne. It's iconic. The portrait looks amazing, and it's sculpted. And it's sculpted by legendary, artists and sculptors.
Well, and you also get these extra little things that honestly I didn't know what to think of until I saw them in person when we went to the con, and they look really good. Like it's hard to it's kind of hard to tell what they are, but they look great in person.
Yeah,
they really do.
They're more subtle in person, I'd say.
They're what?
They're a little more subtle in person.
Yeah.
Because I think I was expecting it to look very diorama-like, but it actually looks more of like the storytelling basis we've seen before with like LBS and stuff like that, where it's like it's a slight relief. It's not necessarily like a diorama that has a ton of depth to it. So I think it's subtle.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It's a fair price. It's low edition size.
Yeah.
Like, what more can you want from as a collector?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the hardest part about this is knowing that they're going to come out with a hyper real version. What do you want to wait, and do you want to? I mean, you're not going to have to wait that long, but like, because they'll come out with that soon. But like, that's going to be the question: is what do you want? Do you want him on his classic on his throne, or do you want like maybe the better looking portrait in a different type of pose where he's standing up and he looks decrepit, and that's gonna be the question.
And possibly like mixed media. I will say, because I think I said this in the group, hat off to PCS for doing everything collectors have been fucking bitching about, which is they're doing 2 Palpatines, and they tell you before either goes up for PO to expect 2 Palpatines. Because I think that was a lot of people were confused with the Maul situation, where they came out with a more dynamic 100% polystone one, and then they did the hyper real, and they were really accommodating to people who wanted to transfer their NRG for that reason, because they came out so close together. So I do know people who are holding out on this because they want to wait until they see the hyper real first. But like, it's not that fucking hard. Like, I appreciate that they did that so that it doesn't lock people into this statue if they'd be more interested in the hyperreal later down the line.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like, what CC said, they're giving pretty much everything that the collectors have been, bitching about. And they're doing it the right way. They're giving us all the dark side. So if you're a dark side collector like I am, like, I could like bang out Maul, I could bang out Palpatine, I could bang out Vader, right? They look at that Vader bust. That's, oh my gosh, like, I'm getting that. Like, that is a must-have. And
they're doing a lot of cool stuff.
They're doing a lot of cool things. And one thing I'm trying to do with my collection, right, is reduce the amount of things that I have, right? Like, I feel like less is more.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my
Hello.
less. Speaking of dark side, there's a dark side dog there. But I feel like less is more. And I think we talked about it too, Matt, right? Like where you're like, well, I don't need all these things. Like I
Right.
could just so yeah, kudos to PCS, man. I think I called them the statue company of the year last year, and I
Yeah, yeah,
think they're probably gonna head that way this year.
yeah. It's
As
possible.
more compared to other statue companies where they're actually scaling back,
Right.
right? And you have PCS giving pretty much everything that the collectors want: hyperrealism, sculpted fabric, cheap price, 1/3 scale, awesome portrait. I
Yep.
mean,
No, I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
They're killing it. And the only thing I wish is that it was quarter scale.
oh,
I get
do
the
it.
1/3. Listen, I get the 1/3 scale thing. I do, but it's tough when you've got so many quarter
I
scale
know,
pieces. It's tough, and you don't have a room. Like the room, the
I
space is a problem.
know. But for me, it's like I think of it this way, right? Like, okay, they're doing Dark Side. I could just get the main guys, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna if they do a General Grievous, I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'm like, okay, out.
sure.
Like Maul, Palpatine, Vader, like who else would be awesome
Do you
in
think,
that
PJ?
line?
Do you see them just staying on the dark side thing? Are they going to
No,
do
are
any
you
light side
kidding
stuff?
me? They
Yeah,
have
you
the
got it right.
license. They have the
Yeah,
license. They could
yeah.
do Chewbacca. They
I
could
know that'd be
do
crazy.
Han Solo. They could do Princess Leia. They could do so many. I think they're doing Dark
See, that,
Side
that
first
was
because
that was going to be my question. How far do you think they're going to go with the line? You think they're going
Yeah, how deep?
So the last one they inquired about would be what kind of Leia would people want to see.
Interesting.
So it
So they
seems
already
like
asked that question.
So
Yeah.
it seems
That would
like
actually
Leia.
be really good.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
you
a lot of
imagine?
people brought up some
fuck.
great options that haven't
Cece,
been done.
would you not pick up an amazing Leia?
I'd be super tempted. I
I'd
said
be too.
the like
Mhm.
reference that I want, which would be like New Hope, I think. But a lot of people mentioned like a Hoth Leia,
Mm.
Bespin Leia.
Hoth Leia would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's tough though because you'd almost want the classic Leia in an amazing hyper-real. Like that's what you want. Yeah, that's what you really want. But here's my question. This is where I have issues with this because let's say they did that, but what's Blitzway gonna do?
right.
Because if Blitzway is gonna keep making some pieces, and they end up getting into making a Leia or making a Luke or a Chewbacca or that's the company I would go with for that. I'm just saying, straight up, like
Yeah.
their hyper real or whatever they call it, master bullshit line or
Mhm.
whatever it is amazing. Like that
So
Anakin looks that Black Label version is ridiculous.
is that quarter?
That's quarter.
But see, the thing too is like I think we talked about it too before, Matt, is that it's Black Label. Are they going to keep doing Black Label Star
Right.
Wars pieces, or are they going to like
Are they
alternate?
just gonna go somewhere else or totally?
Yeah, like they had Michael Jackson. Now
100%.
it's Anakin.
100%.
So
I hear you.
yeah,
It's
but
a question.
I mean, it's a good time to be a Star Wars collector. Right now, just there's so many options. Yeah, right. There's Hot Toys. They're going
Yeah.
crazy with their lines, but to me, in terms of my evolution of collecting, I'm sticking to less is more.
Yeah.
This is gonna fit my collection, and I already got rid of them. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
99% of my Hot Toys.
Yeah.
So I'm using that whatever I sold just to kind of invest in a more
Sure.
bigger line, which is
No, that
this.
makes sense. And that's the only caveat. That's the only thing I have that I'm not quite sure about is the size, right? Like where would I put
Yeah.
these things? But yeah, you're right. I mean, if they came out with some ridiculous Leia that looked amazing, that'd be really tough. Or Luke. I mean, if they got Luke right, like made it look like someone hit him with a car and then freaking put him in the badass like a freaking rebel pilot suit, like a suit or whatever, like that would be amazing. Like I don't know how I
Yeah.
would stop myself, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But then again, you only have 1/3 scale piece in your collection. I mean, you'd have to separate that. You'd have to put that like figure out where to put that, so
Mhm.
anyway, there's a lot to it, but I do applaud PCS for what they're doing. I think it's great, and I think the
Yeah.
pieces they're coming out with are fantastic. We will do another one of these probably for the hyperreal version,
Yes.
CC, I imagine,
Yeah.
just because it probably deserves it, and so I think we'll probably make that happen. But for now, I think that's gonna be it. PJ, thank you for jumping on with us.
Thanks.
Always
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Cool.